CNN reporters are covering the crisis from Israel to Lebanon to Syria and Gaza.
You're really worried about another strike here right now, yes?
Of course. We are not allowed to tell you precisely where we are. You can feel the compression in your body, and you can taste the dynamite, the TNT.
Another Israeli soldier was killed there today.
I think this was CNN at its best.
Ola Newton joins us now live via broadband.
He joins us now also live via broadband.
We can still smell the burning rubble.
We're down here in a valley not too far from the border with Lebanon.
We can hear Israeli warplanes buzzing overhead right now.
CNN was anchoring from both locations, both Israel and Lebanon, throughout the war.
Welcome back to this special edition of Your World Today.
It makes you such a better anchor. We're going to take you back to southern Lebanon. You understand the story so much more. And that, I think, is what really set us apart in this coverage.
A scene of utter chaos.
I was in Syria and then eventually went to Iran during the war.
None yet, Anderson. The day just beginning here.
And every live shot that we did from both of those places could not have been done without the DNG technology.
Of Lebanese now abandoning caution.
This is the kind of cutting-edge technology that really is made for television and specifically breaking news.
It's really a matter of minutes. We were able to break down our equipment very quickly and set it up very quickly to go live quicker than all of our competition.
You could be in the car, you could be in a hotel, you could be in the middle of this village, but you could immediately feed that story back or that B-roll back to Atlanta. It was faster than anything we've done before.
We were doing live shows from absolutely positions, that I've never worked with before.
We had a PD-150 camera, a G4 computer, and we had our B-GAN, and that's about all we carried. It all fit into a backpack.
All these three items can be operated on battery power, so you're not even dependent on any kind of power source.
One of the advantages of the B-GAN is that it's the size of a laptop. We can move anywhere with it.
The B-GANs was still where we got a lot of our breaking news out.
We've been honing this technology for years now in conflicts all over the globe. And in this Israeli-Hezbollah conflict, we were really at the pinnacle of our skills when it came to digital news gathering.
We're going to set up our DNG kit. We've got the camera here, the laptop here, and the B-GAN, the satellite modem that links the signal. We're looking at the Indian Ocean. As you can see, this is all very quick. We're connecting all the way through to CNN's headquarters in Atlanta. DNG live. Activate that. I'm going to step in front of the camera. I'm ready to go live. What did that take? Just a couple of minutes. And if you look on the computer screen, you can see the signal going out there. That's connected directly all the way through to CNN's headquarters in Atlanta. Right now, I'm ready to go live.
Miles, these people have been down here for 9 days now. Some of them only live a few blocks away. It's not like they've come from some of the outlying villages a little ways out of the city of Tyre. They live 2-3 blocks away. They say they're too frightened to stay at home, and so they've come down into this underground basement.
Could the Lebanese military play a role in this force?
The concern is that those Shiites might decide to side with Hezbollah. With this satellite modem, the B-GAN over here connected to my laptop computer, I was able to stay connected, see my email, read the iNews, get the latest editorial information that's being shared throughout the network. Other people, other journalists in Beirut, in the building we were in, were having a much harder time. So many people were piling in for the story that the computer systems, the networks were crashing and coming down. We had guaranteed reliability through the satellite modems, through the B-GANs.
Two key areas. One, further to the west near Beit Jabal, which has very much been in the news. The other is right here in this valley that I'm standing on top of. That's Marjayoun. It is key terrain. This is considered by one UN source that I spoke to be the gateway to Hezbollah's Bekaa Valley.
We had several reporters in Beirut. We had several in southern Lebanon, where most of the military activity was taking place. We also, of course, in Israel, throughout the country, had northern Israel. We had Haifa. We had Jerusalem.
It's Paula Newton here, and I'm on the northern Israeli-Lebanese border, and we are watching what is a forward movement of ground troops. And I recall specifically on one occasion we had gone to a staging area, of where the Israelis had set up certainly a command center, and a lot of their tanks, their troops would come in and out. We had heard that there was this firefight going on. Well, we didn't have a satellite truck, and so immediately, as soon as we could confirm what was going on, that's it. We parked the car. We were actually next to a ditch, and we were up within 10 or 11 minutes and were able to bring that breaking news to international and to the domestic channel and to say, look, this is what the Israeli side is telling us right now on the ground.
We were based during the war in the south of Lebanon. We were based in Tyre.
Some of the latest pictures of the destruction there in the coastal city, where our Ben Wiedemann and as well our Carl Penhall are there reporting.
Everything we did was DNG. We shot the story and we edited, and then we just fed it on the BGANs.
This is the International Assignment Desk in Atlanta. This is where I work. This is where everybody in the field was calling in during coverage, and this is what coordinated coverage is, air traffic control for all of our reporters out in the field. I was standing here during Lebanon coverage when Carl Penhall on one monitor we saw live, over his VGAN, saw Katyusha rockets going out. We had another reporter, John Roberts, up on the border area who saw the rockets going overhead. And we had a third person in Haifa who saw and heard the rockets landing. That's how live we were.
We broke several stories that then the wire services picked up from us.
Military sources tell CNN. And of course, once we went looking, things did happen.
Around the corner from our live position, we suddenly noticed that plumes of smoke were coming out, and in fact, what we found out later, that the helicopter had crashed. We started filming that with the larger camera and got some shots that no one else was getting, and at the same time we were able to do the lives on a regular basis through the BGAN.
The second day that we got into Syria, we got word that the refugee crisis was starting, that people were crossing that border between Lebanon and Syria, and in a matter of about 10 minutes, we were able to set up and start doing lives.
People like this who are carrying what little they have.
So we had the BGAN on top of a truck that was sort of parked right alongside the border, and we were moving around. I was on a wireless mic, and you really were able to give the viewer a sense of the chaos that was taking place at the Syrian border. It was a very dramatic moment that I think without that technology we wouldn't have been able to really tell the world about.
Even though we were based in Tyre, when the French deployed, they deployed to a UN camp south of Tyre. We went down there and we were able to put it on live as they were getting off, the first French troops coming off their boat.
That would leave us about 12,800 to go.
BGAN is a broadband global area network system. That's what it's called. Inmarsat is the company that designed and built it. And what it is it's the internet in the sky.
One of the key things we looked at was the ability for our field crews to edit in the field quickly and to be able to compress that down to a very small package and then transmit that back into headquarters and have the ability to move out if they need to.
We also found the ability to have good forward air correction, which allowed us to do any kind of IP connectivity that we wanted for live, which no one else has been able to do so far.
This was the epitome of what we've been shooting for 20 years. When our correspondents lined up and came up on air with DNG from the field, it worked, and it worked well. And more importantly, they could depend on it.
We were doing live shows from souks, from markets, from busy streets, from busy squares and intersections. You can move around unnoticed, you can move around very quickly. I also believe this adds to security of the crew.
The satellite is obviously most times a fairly provocative target for anyone that can see you. It is very large, very difficult to camouflage. That is not the case with this equipment.
We were being taken around by the Hezbollah spokesman. We certainly saw these scenes of devastation.
We captured some absolutely incredible and dramatic images, again, taking advantage of those vantage points that we had for ourselves and the mobility that we had to really go to where the action was.
I'm going to get back into the frame so I can take you and show you a bit around. What the BGAN and this mobile technology allowed us to do was to really bring a slice of life. It provided a human face to this drama that I don't think that you would have necessarily had with technology that doesn't allow you to be this mobile.
Today in Lebanon, as elsewhere in the Middle East, we never go on any assignment. There's no day when we do not have the BGAN technology right at our fingertips.